All right, another question everybody asks, is coffee good or bad?
Is coffee good or bad? Well, let's just talk about coffee on its own.
You're gonna have to deal with the dogs if you want to watch this.
So, coffee on its own is, sure, it's healthy. I mean, black coffee, there aren't any negative health consequences unless you're over consuming. And I believe the studies say about 10 cups is kind of that threshold. But that's where you have to look at yourself and know your own sensitivity. So if it's interrupting your sleep, if it's interrupting your state of mind, if it's making you feel like you're constantly wired and moving from task to task without feeling a sense of peace, well, that's your body's way of telling you maybe you need to cut back on caffeine in general. But black coffee on its own is healthful. The problem arises when we start messing with our coffee and adding things to it.
Yeah, so caffeine in and of itself is not bad for you. Of course, it can increase your focus. We've all felt that after you have caffeine, your focus can be increased. I limit people at 5 cups a day. I don't think you need to have 10 in a day. I don't think you need to have 10 of anything in a day. So I limit people at 5 cups, especially because I feel like sleep gets disrupted after that point. But yeah, it's what are you adding to your coffee? So if you're going to get the caramel macchiato, whatever, you guys all know that's not good for you. But also, like, where's your coffee coming from? So the best sources of coffee are going to be something that's locally roasted and you get the whole bean, and if you grind the bean at your house before you make the coffee, that's your best case scenario. You're going to get the most health benefits out of it, because think about it like a grape that came from Costa Rica. So when you pick that grape, that's where it's going to be at its peak ripeness, the peak amount of nutrients in that food. And then when it takes 5 days to get to you, and then it sits at the store for 5 days, and then it sits in your fridge for 5 days, those nutrients are all breaking down over time, and it's the same thing with coffee. So if you want to do the best of the best coffee, you want to get a whole organic bean, grind it yourself. I know we don't all do that, but that's just kind of
Okay, but some people will.
taking it to the top.
Yeah. And then, of course, like you were saying with the caramel macchiato and things like that, be mindful of the kind of things that you're adding. Now, there are going to be things that are better to add to your coffee that really won't make a huge difference. So adding a splash and half, don't stress about that. But if you are having 5 cups a day and you're adding half and half, and then you're adding sweeteners to that, or you're adding some kind of sugary creamer to that, well, that can really add up. If you look at the labels on those coffee mate creamers, just 1 tablespoon can have up to 5 grams of sugar. And if you're having multiple cups of coffee in the morning with that stuff in it, I mean, that's not the best way to start your day with 10-15 grams of sugar.
Yeah, so just be smart about it. Best case scenario, you're just drinking black coffee if that's where if you need to get your caffeine, or you just enjoy it, or you want to do just a latte with some almond milk or something like that. It's not going to make or break you. Even if you're doing that crappy creamer like the hazelnut, whatever, if you're only doing 1 to 2 tablespoons of it, I'm sure there are other things in your life that we need to focus on above that. Then we need to just focus on that creamer. That'll come later on down the road.